It all began with a subtle moment. In a sea of flashing cameras and choreographed poses, one small detail escaped the noise, yet captured the hearts of millions. While Xiao Zhan naturally directed his attention to the lens with calm professionalism, Wang Yibo did something quietly rebellious. He looked at Xiao Zhan instead. Not just once, but repeatedly. And not with just any look. His gaze was tender, filled with warmth, and often accompanied by a soft, almost involuntary smile. To casual viewers, it might seem inconsequential. But to observant fans, it was the beginning of something more. To understand the emotional weight behind this recurring gaze, it's crucial to examine who these two stars really are. Xiao Zhan is the epitome of grace under pressure. Confident, courteous, and always mindful of his image. He exudes a maturity that anchors every project he joins. Wang Yibo, in contrast, is known for his reserved nature and emotional restraint. He's often unreadable, even icy. Yet, in the presence of Xiao Zhan, a transformation occurs. His expressions soften, his shoulders relax, and his eyes, usually elusive, find focus. Could it be that Xiao Zhan acts as the emotional key to a side of Wang Yibo the world rarely sees? What's even more fascinating is how their opposing traits create a natural harmony. Xiao Zhan, the dependable and expressive one, tends to carry the emotional tone of any setting, while Wang Yibo mirrors and enhances that energy in subtle but powerful ways. Their personalities act like two puzzle pieces, different in shape, but perfectly fitting. When Yibo looks at Xiao Zhan, it's as if he's drawing reassurance and grounding from someone who brings him clarity. Fans have noticed that Wang Yibo speaks more openly, even jokes more, when Xiao Zhan is around. That trust is not random, it's cultivated. Their polarity doesn't push them apart, it pulls them closer into a kind of silent symbiosis that translates visually in every public appearance. In entertainment, eye contact with the camera is an unspoken rule. It's how stars engage with audiences, build brand identities, and maintain their mystique. Xiao Zhan, trained and talented, nails this effortlessly. Wang Yibo can do the same, but when Xiao Zhan is nearby, he often doesn't. Instead, he turns to Xiao Zhan. Some interpret it as distraction, others see devotion. But psychologists have a different view. Eye contact with a person, especially during public exposure, is a clear sign of prioritization. It's a gesture rooted not in protocol, but in instinct. Digging deeper, this behavior suggests a layered psychological dynamic. Xiao Zhan's connection to the camera signifies professionalism, a sign that he sees his fans and respects the role he plays as a public figure. Wang Yibo's eye contact with Xiao Zhan, on the other hand, points to a much more vulnerable instinct, the human need for emotional safety. In a high-pressure environment filled with scrutiny, Yibo isn't choosing the audience. He's choosing the person who makes him feel anchored. This subtle behavior becomes a recurring pattern of reliance. While one connects with the world, the other finds security in a single individual. And that contrast, between duty and comfort, performance and presence, becomes a fascinating study in how two people navigate fame in entirely different, yet complementary ways. Wang Yibo doesn't give away smiles easily. His image is carefully curated, cool, competent, and emotionally distant. Yet in snapshots with Xiao Zhan, fans consistently catch something rare. A smile not meant for the press, but for one person. It's not promotional. It's not staged. It's spontaneous. And because it's rare, it's powerful. This small act breaks the fourth wall between celebrity and fan, revealing a raw authenticity that scripted interviews can never achieve. The emotional impact of these smiles cannot be overstated. In a culture where idols are often expected to be stoic or expressionless, a spontaneous smile directed at a co-star becomes a loaded gesture. It suggests not only comfort but joy, the kind that's genuine and unfiltered. Psychologists note that true emotional connection is often displayed through micro-expressions, fleeting facial cues that escape conscious control. The upward curve of Yibo's lips when Xiao Zhan is near isn't just a reaction, it's evidence of emotional resonance. He may not speak much in interviews, but that smile tells fans everything they need to know. It says, "I'm happy here. I'm safe here." And that kind of expression, especially in an industry built on masks, feels revolutionary. According to body language experts, Where your eyes go reveals your subconscious priorities. Looking directly into the camera implies performance. It's outward-facing, meant for public consumption. But when Wang Yibo's eyes wander to Xiao Zhan, it signifies inward focus. He's not thinking about the audience. He's thinking about him. Even in a crowd, his attention gravitates toward Xiao Zhan, as if he's the only one that matters in that moment. This silent affirmation is more telling than any social media post or press release. More intriguingly, Wang Yibo's overall body orientation often follows this emotional focus. In countless videos and images, you'll notice his torso slightly turned toward Xiao Zhan, even when the setup doesn't require it. This subconscious angling, known as body mirroring, is a common indicator of emotional alignment and affection. His posture softens. His hands relax. His shoulders no longer carry that signature stiffness. It's as if being near Xiao Zhan shifts him into a more natural, less guarded state. This is the kind of evidence fans find most compelling. Because while words can be rehearsed and smiles can be faked, the body never lies. It broadcasts what the heart is too cautious to say aloud. The internet does and forget. Over the years, fans have compiled clips, GIFs, and photo montages that document this behavior. Ever awards show, ever promotional tour, ever candid behinsescenes moment, the pattern holz. Wang Yibo looks at Xiao Zhan, often unprompted. Sometimes, he smiles. Sometimes, he looks thoughtful. But always, his focus is there. It's no longer just a one-off moment. It's a consistent thread woven through the fabric of their public appearances. This repeated behavior cannot be chalked up to coincidence. In fact, it suggests a level of emotional consistency that defies surface-level interpretations. Most celebrity interactions are fleeting, performative, and context-bound. But the way Yibo watches Xiao Zhan transcends those boundaries. Whether it's on a crowded red carpet or during a casual backstage clip, the gaze is the same, intentional, steady, and gentle. Even in group settings, his eyes instinctively search for Xiao Zhan, as though drawn magnetically. Fans, naturally, have taken this as proof of an enduring emotional thread that runs quietly beneath their public facade. And when actions speak louder than words, it's this pattern that continues to echo long after the moment passes. This persistent gaze, set against the backdrop of flashing lights and screaming fans, is especially powerful because it's not hidden. It's not shared in private but in full view of the world. That's what makes it even more intimate. It's a kind of vulnerability. In a space where everything is staged and calculated, Wang Yibo's eyes betray something real. He doesn't need to say anything. His glance does the talking. And Xiao Zhan, even if he doesn't return the look, seems to feel it. Speculation is inevitable. Are we witnessing romantic affection? A profound friendship? Or is it simply loyalty forged in the fire of intense collaboration? After all, The Untamed wasn't just a drama, it was a cultural phenomenon. The two leads carried that weight together, shoulder to shoulder. Bonds formed under pressure tend to be stronger. Wang Yibo's gaze might not be a declaration of love, but it is undeniably a declaration of deep trust, familiarity, and maybe even emotional refuge. Neither Wang Yibo nor Xiao Zhan has publicly commented on this dynamic. And perhaps they never will. Silence, in this case, becomes its own form of communication, a way to preserve something sacred from the noise of public life. But their silence doesn't stop fans from noticing. On the contrary, it fuels the fascination. The less they say, the more their actions or glances are analyzed. And that analysis often leads to one conclusion: what they have is rare. In today's world, where every celebrity interaction is dissected for clickbait, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's dynamic offers something different. It's not loud. It's not performative. It's quiet, grounded, real. It exists in the in-between spaces, the moments most people overlook. But fans don't overlook them. They cherish them. Because in a world of spectacle, sincerity is revolutionary. There's something incredibly profound about someone who doesn't need to look at the audience, because his gaze is already fixed on what matters most. For Wang Yibo, that seems to be Xiao Zhan. His quiet attentiveness, the way he breaks from the standard performer's script to focus on one person, it resonates deeply. It feels personal.
It feels honest.
And maybe that's why fans are so captivated. Because in that moment, it doesn't feel like a performance.
It feels like the truth.
Ultimately, whether it's admiration, affection, or just the comfort of familiarity, Wang Yibo's consistent focus on Xiao Zhan has become more than a fan observation. It's a signature. A hidden narrative told through stolen glances and fleeting smiles. And while we may never know the full story, what we can see is enough to keep us watching, wondering, and believing in the magic that exists between two people who share something special. This video is based on publicly available appearances and fan observations. It is intended purely for entertainment and discussion. We do not claim to make definitive statements about the personal lives of the individuals involved. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the subtle but powerful bond between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Do you think Wang Yibo's gaze means more than what meets the eye? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you see in those silent moments.